This is Soul Signal, where the soul comes to rest. My name is Patrice. In a moment, a story will begin. You don't need to do anything with it. You don't need to remember it or carry it or learn from it. Only let it move through you, the way water moves through open hands. You have been carrying what was never yours to carry. Tonight, you can set it down. Something larger than you has had this the whole time. You've already thought about it tonight. More than once. Maybe you've been through the whole scenario again. Mapped the options. Imagined the outcomes. Rehearsed the conversations. Calculated the risks. And then circled back to the beginning and started over. You're not doing that because you're dramatic. You're not doing that because you're weak. You're doing that because somewhere in you there is a very intelligent, very exhausted part that genuinely believes, if I can think through every possible outcome, nothing will be able to surprise me. You're not overthinking. You're trying to protect yourself. And tonight, just for tonight, you don't have to. Something else is already handling it. We're going to talk about that. And then we're going to rest. Here's what the loop actually looks like. Not the dramatic version. The real, quiet, nightly version. It starts with something unresolved. A decision you haven't made yet. A conversation that didn't land right. A situation that's still open. Something that doesn't have an answer yet and won't have one tonight. But the mind doesn't know that. Or it knows and it doesn't care. Because to the mind, an open question is a vulnerability. And vulnerabilities require monitoring. So it starts running scenarios. What if this? What if that? What if I choose this and it turns out wrong? What if I don't choose and I miss the window? What if I misread the situation entirely? Each question generates two more. Each scenario branches into sub-scenarios. Each outcome requires a contingency plan. And you're not panicking. I know what this looks like from the inside. I've sat with a list of dates, a list of numbers, a list of options that all had something wrong with them. And I kept moving things around. If this one, then that. If that falls through, then this. If the money works out, then maybe. If the money doesn't, then... And I called it thinking. But at some point, I don't know exactly when, it stopped being thinking. It became something else. Something that felt like preparing, but was actually just postponing the moment when I'd have to admit I didn't know. And the not knowing, that was the real thing. The thing underneath all the calculations. Not which option is right, but can I trust that I'll be okay no matter which one I choose? That's the question the loop is actually asking. Every time. At 2 a.m. with the same numbers it was running an hour ago. That's the thing about this kind of loop. It doesn't always feel like panic. It feels like thinking. It feels productive. It feels like I'm being responsible. I'm being thorough. I'm not going to be caught off guard. But it's midnight, and the decision isn't going to be made tonight. And the scenario you just mapped is the fourth variation of the same scenario you already mapped an hour ago. And your body is tired in a way that has nothing to do with how much you slept. Here is what the mind is actually doing. It is trying to make the future certain by thinking about it hard enough. It believes at some level that if it can predict every outcome, it can prevent the bad ones. That if it thinks thoroughly enough, completely enough, exhaustively enough, it will find the version of the plan that is safe. The version with no surprises, no regret, no wrong turns. That version doesn't exist. And somewhere underneath the loop, you know that. But the mind keeps running because stopping feels like giving up, like exposing yourself, like stepping into the uncertainty without protection. Nothing is wrong with you. Your mind is doing exactly what it was trained to do. It learned that thinking ahead kept you safe, that preparation reduced the damage, that anticipating problems was better than being surprised by them. And it was right. In the seasons when that was the most urgent skill, it was right. But this is not one of those seasons. This is a season that requires something different, not more planning. Release. You cannot outplan uncertainty. Let that sit for a moment. You cannot outplan uncertainty. Not because you're not smart enough, not because you haven't tried hard enough, but because uncertainty is not a planning problem. It's a trust problem. The question underneath the loop is not, what's the right answer? The question is, can I trust that something will hold me even if I don't have it all mapped out? And the answer is yes. You become steady inside uncertainty, not by eliminating it, not by thinking through every branch of it, by trusting that you will handle what comes, the way you have always handled what came, even the things you didn't plan for, even the things that surprised you. You handled them. You don't have to think your way into peace. You can rest into it. And here's the other thing. The thing that the planning loop never accounts for. What is meant for you does not require midnight panic to secure. If something is aligned for you, truly aligned, the kind of thing that belongs in your life, it will not slip through your hands because you slept. It will not be lost because you stopped running the scenario for one night. What is yours will remain. And what is already in motion toward you is not waiting for your approval. It doesn't need your midnight supervision. God, or the universe, or the quiet intelligence at the center of things, however you name what's larger than your worry, is already handling it. I want to be honest with you about something. I don't have this figured out. I'm not telling you this from the other side. I'm telling you this from the middle of it. The same middle you're in right now. Some nights I hand it over and I actually feel it leave. The grip loosens. Something in my chest releases. And I think, okay, I know how to do this. And then a week later, I'm back at the list. Back at the numbers. Back at the same loop I thought I'd graduated from. So I'm not going to tell you that surrender is easy. I'm going to tell you it's available. Right now, tonight. Even for someone like us, who has spent years believing that if she just thought hard enough, long enough, carefully enough, she could think her way into safety. You can't. And God has never needed you to. That's not a failure. That's the whole point. God was already handling it while you were running the scenario. God will still be handling it when you finally stop. The outcome is not waiting on your approval. You are not one decision away from ruining your life. You are not one mistake away from collapse. Your life is sturdier than your thoughts suggest. Let me take you somewhere. Not far. Just to a window. A high window. In a room that's quiet. The lamp is behind her. The city is ahead. She's been here before. This particular window. This particular late night posture. standing with one hand resting on the sill. There is something she hasn't let go of yet. Not a big thing, a small thing. The kind of thing that shouldn't matter but does. Because letting go of it would make everything final. She knows that's not logical. It's already final. Has been for a while now. But the small thing is still there. And she is still here. And tonight, that's enough. She's not ready to release everything. She doesn't have to be. God doesn't require a clean slate before showing up. God shows up in the middle of the holding on, in the middle of the not yet, in the middle of the woman who is standing at the window, still carrying the one thing she isn't ready to set down. That's allowed. Partial surrender is still surrender. The thoughts can move. She can stay. And the glass cool against her fingertips. And the city spread out below, doing what cities do at this hour. Moving. The traffic is still running at this hour. Past midnight. Cars on the expressway. Those long red trails of light. Heading one direction, white trails heading the other. She used to watch them and wonder where everyone was going. Late workers, early risers, people in transit between one version of the night and another. The city doesn't stop. She knows that now. The city doesn't require her participation to keep moving. She used to think that was unsettling, that the world kept going without her input, that things were in motion she couldn't account for. Decisions being made, outcomes unfolding, lanes changing, all of it beyond her reach from this window. Let me take you somewhere. Not far, just to a window. A high window. In a room that's quiet. The lamp is behind her. The city is ahead. She's been here before. This particular window, this particular late night posture, standing with one hand resting on the sill. There is something she hasn't let go of yet. Not a big thing, a small thing. The kind of thing that shouldn't matter but does. Because letting go of it would make everything final. She knows that's not logical. It's already final. Has been for a while now. But the small thing is still there. And she is still here. And tonight, that's enough. She's not ready to release everything. She doesn't have to be. God doesn't require a clean slate before showing up. God shows up in the middle of the holding on, in the middle of the not yet, in the middle of the woman who is standing at the window, still carrying the one thing she isn't ready to set down. That's allowed. Partial surrender is still surrender. The thoughts can move. She can stay. And the glass cool against her fingertips, and the city spread out below, doing what cities do at this hour, moving. The traffic is still running. At this hour, past midnight. Cars on the expressway, those long red trails of light heading one direction, white trails heading the other. She used to watch them and wonder where everyone was going. Late workers, early risers, people in transit between one version of the night and another. The city doesn't stop. She knows that now. The city doesn't require her participation to keep moving. She used to think that was unsettling, that the world kept going without her input, that things were in motion she couldn't account for, decisions being made, outcomes unfolding, lanes changing, all of it beyond her reach from this window. But tonight it looks different. The traffic below is just traffic, moving the way it moves, going where it goes, finding its own routes, its own merges, its own way through. And she is here, still. The thoughts can move. She doesn't have to chase them. The lights blur slightly if she softens her eyes. Not looks away, just softens. Lets the focus release a little. The sharp points of light becoming halos, amber and white and the occasional red, soft at the edges, more like color than like information. That's what it feels like when you let the thoughts pass without following them. They don't disappear. They just soften. Stop being urgent. Stop requiring a response. The building she's standing in is not moving. The walls are steady. The floor beneath her feet is solid. The room is the same room it was an hour ago. All the motion is out there. And she is in here. And in here is enough. The thoughts can move. She can stay. There is a particular quality to watching a city from above at night when you have stopped needing to understand it. It becomes beautiful, not complex, not threatening, not a set of variables requiring management, just light, just motion. Just the ordinary, ongoing fact of a world that keeps going without requiring anything from you right now. She lets out a breath, not deliberately, not as a technique, just the natural exhale of a body that has been holding something and has been given permission to set it down. She didn't solve anything tonight. The decision is still open. The question is still there. The situation hasn't changed, but the grip has loosened by some fraction, just enough. The scenario she'd been running was the same scenario she ran last night and the night before, and it didn't solve it then either. Which means the solution is not in the scenario. The solution is in time, in lived experience, in the next thing that happens that she can't predict from here. She looks at the city. The traffic has thinned slightly, later now. The lights fewer but warmer. Like the city is breathing slower too, she thinks. It was going to do that whether I watched or not, whether I planned or not, whether I figured it out tonight or not. The thoughts can move. She doesn't have to follow them. She turns from the window. The room is warm. The lamp is low. The bed is waiting. She moves toward it slowly, not because everything is resolved, because enough has been released for tonight, because God is already handling it. She didn't have to figure it all out. She just had to stop running the loop long enough to remember that. You don't have to solve every outcome tonight. You don't have to map every possibility. You don't have to replay what already happened. You can rest without rehearsing. What is meant for you does not require midnight panic to secure. What is yours will remain. God is already handling it. The thoughts can move. You can stay. You are not one decision away from ruining your life. You are not one mistake away from collapse. Your life is sturdier than your thoughts suggest. You can rest now. You can rest now. You can rest now. Rest here as long as you need. The story has done its work. You don't have to hold it. You can let it go the way you let a breath go, completely, without watching where it goes. Soul Signal will be here when you return. There are more stories waiting, more nights like this one. Until then, may you dream in light. May you wake in grace. And may you always know you are the signal.
Please God have mercy still, for I was blind to your will, but give me one more sacred chance to show I trust your perfect plan. Victory, victory, victory. I know you've got great plans for me. I'll sing your name with certainty, with confidence and clarity. I feel your presence every hour. I'm a testament of holy power. Victory, victory, victory. Christ Almighty lives in me. Through every test, through every storm, you were the shelter, safe and warm. You held my heart, you kept me near. Your love cast out all my fear. You showed me mercy when I ran. You held me gently in your hands, and now I stand unshaken, free, because your spirit moves through me. Victory, victory, ooh, victory. Your grace has always covered me. Now I will rise and boldly be a vessel of divinity. Every step a sacred hour, my life a song of holy power. Victory, victory, ooh, victory. Christ Almighty lives in